Oh, come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive
Greetings, family, and welcome to another episode of Wake Up Africa. My name is Dr. Mumbi Seraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray, family, that you are extremely well in all your ways and that you're moving into living life very much on your own terms, in your own narrative, in your own story, family. It is so critical because that is the vehicle that will take you from this dispensation to the new dispensation, or that is the very same vehicle, family, your mind and your heart, that will keep you in this hell on earth. So make sure you're making your choices wisely about the things you know. And you're giving your spiritual life the priority it deserves. A special shout out to every single person that supports us on Patreon and sends us love donations through PayPal and gratitude donations through PayPal. We appreciate, love you so much. And all of you who have reached out to sponsor a Dr. Mumbi show, we are definitely getting back to you. And if you'd like to sponsor a show and advertise a product or service that you offer to our niche audience, definitely be in touch. Mumbi.seraki@gmail.com. You know, so much has been happening, family, and it's been happening at such a breakneck speed that you could almost miss it if you weren't paying attention. But I think across the motherland, the most disappointing thing with the collapse of the globalist system, it has been how so much has been revealed. Like, I think there was a US senator who was talking about how I think USAID, or the Divided States, funded Al-Qaeda, I think ISIS, and Boko Haram. But the worst one was how they funded Boko Haram and literally went into Nigeria when Nigeria was just at its moment of taking off. They went and they totally neutralized it. Just like they did in their own, Black American cities that were thriving across the divided states. You guys need to do research, because I feel sometimes like the people of the motherland really don't and understand the nature of the beast that we're dealing with. You seem to think that the beast is like you, the beast thinks like you, the beast has a conscience like you, that the beast plays fair. And that is the biggest lie, family. The beast is here to kill, steal, and destroy. And they're here to dominate. They only know domination. They don't know coexistence. They don't know there's enough for everybody. And the saddest thing for me, though, family, has been how a lot of African presidents are silent in the face of these shocking revelations, which is proving to the motherland that they're all boule, that we are still a colonized continent. Because how does a government release a statement saying that they funded a terror organization that came into your nation, stole, I don't know, how many girls were taken, remember? During the Obama's time? And then we even saw, I was going to call her Michael, but Michelle holding up that thing, free our girls or whatever. And yet we have not seen any outrage, even from the African Union, condemning what is happening, family, condemning the blatant foreign interference, invasion, and collapse of our nations. It's so sad. The silence is deafening, family. Because before we used to be called conspiracy theorists, when we talked about the foreign hand in governments, when we talked about how governments set up democracies in Africa so that they could select our leaders. And now that it's all going electronic, it's even better. And they harvest our energy and they get our artificial or engineered consent. when thousands of people go and put their vote and then they pick their own people. It's all a sham. And as long as we have these foreign systems like democracy and all these things, then we will always have foreign leaders. And it's quite shocking, family, to see that everything that us so-called conspiracy theorists said is actually coming to be proven correct. And so even if our leaders remain quiet, because a lot of them, family, have either been replaced, consciously chipped, or they have, they're being blackmailed. That's one of the most common things. Or they belong to a brotherhood where there's something on their necks. But long story short, these are not kings. These are not queens. These are not leaders. These are not empresses. These are businessmen. And they're nasty, corrupt, mzungu, butt-sucking leaders that are not here to prosper us in any way. And it is great that we're being able to see their hand, because that energy is definitely, that vibration is definitely on its way out. Don't forget, over 75% of Africa's population is under 25. So within a generation or two, all of them will be not forgotten, because we will never forget. We will actually teach about corruption and corrupt leadership. A lot of our current leaders will be going into our textbooks of the future to show how you don't run a country, and to make sure that we never repeat the same mistakes again. Remember that the motherland had the most sophisticated kind of governance, family. Ours was about consensus. It wasn't about where, okay, 50% have said this, so the other 50% or 51% have said this, so we'll ignore the 49% and never. Our governance meetings would take months. Some issues would take years, especially about expanding territory or invading other nations, would take years, because everyone had to be on the same page. Even if it was just 2% of our people that didn't agree, the discussions would continue, not to try and arm twist them to agree, but to reason together until we were of one mind. Because our ancestors and our ancient ones understood the importance of moving and operating from one mind, as one mind, moving forward as one consciousness. And even though the silence of our leaders is so deafening, we're grateful for the TikToks of this world and the YouTubes of this world, family, because the group consciousness has been informed. And those who are still thinking that anything the Mzungu does in Africa is to benefit us and is not for their interests, have now been rudely awakened, family. And a lot of people on the motherland are realizing aid is not to help Africans. Aid is there to entrap Africans. And so we give thanks, as always, family, for Trump and the secret society war he has started with the globalists. Because basically the divided states, the energy of the people of the divided states is what was being used to create the one world order. And now that that plug has been pulled, yes, financially from USAID and all this stuff, but beyond financially, energetically, the group consciousness of the divided states has said, we are no longer supporting this. And as the brotherhood capital of the world, and as one of the 7 providential nations, that's why it's having such a massive impact, family. Massive. even Europe and the New World Order globalists that are still in control in Europe are facing a hard time. And there's also a little friction between the divided states and Europe, which, as long as they're fighting, we have time to organize ourselves and get ourselves together. But I'll do a whole separate show on that, family. Make sure you're subscribed to both channels, Dr. Mumbi Show and Dr. Mumbi Spiritual Show. I'd absolutely love to hear from you. Let me know what you think of everything that's been going on with the revelation, with the confirmation of how much the divided states and the globalists have interfered in Africa, how much they've stolen, they've killed, and they've destroyed. Let me know in the comments. Give us a like, family, so that it reaches more people. I haven't asked for that in a while. And share this with people of like mind, because there's something very exciting coming to the Dr. Mumbi Show. It's time to take this to the next level, family. And as always, a special shout out to everyone that supports us on Patreon and sends us love donations and gratitude donations through PayPal. We appreciate you so much. There's a gift for you in the mail. And to all the people who are reaching out to sponsor a show, we appreciate, love you so much. And if you'd be interested in sponsoring a show, as well as, and getting your product or service to get a shout out on either the Dr. Mumbi Show or the Dr. Mumbi Spiritual Show and all our social media platforms, get in touch. mumbi.saraki@gmail.com. Tuko pamoja. To all the dispossessed youth of Africa, for perpetuation of communion with ancestral spirits through the fight for African freedom, and in the firm faith that the dead, the living, and the unborn will unite to build the destroyed shrines.